Brazil, the largest country in South America, is a nation of remarkable diversity, known for its vast landscapes, cultural richness, and economic significance. In 2005, it was a pivotal time in Brazil's history, marked by both challenges and achievements. Geographically, Brazil spans over 8.5 million square kilometers, encompassing the Amazon rainforest, the world's largest tropical rainforest. The country shares borders with every South American nation except for Chile and Ecuador. Its diverse ecosystems include the Amazon basin, the Pantanal wetlands, and extensive coastlines along the Atlantic Ocean. With a population exceeding 186 million in 2005, Brazil is a melting pot of ethnicities and cultures. The majority of the population is of mixed race descent, reflecting centuries of intermingling between indigenous peoples, European colonizers, and African slaves. This cultural amalgamation is evident in Brazil's music, dance, and religious practices. Brasília, a modernist city designed by architect Oscar Niemeyer, serves as the capital, while São Paulo and Rio de Janeiro are its most populous cities. São Paulo is the economic powerhouse, contributing significantly to Brazil's thriving economy. Economically, Brazil is a global player. In 2005, it experienced notable economic growth, driven by its agricultural and industrial sectors. The country is a major exporter of agricultural products, including soybeans, coffee, and beef. Additionally, Brazil is rich in natural resources such as iron ore, contributing to its prominence in the global mining industry. However, despite economic growth, Brazil faced persistent challenges, notably high levels of income inequality. A significant portion of the population grappled with poverty and inadequate access to education and healthcare. Efforts were underway to address these issues, with social programs aimed at reducing poverty and improving social indicators. One of Brazil's defining features is its vibrant culture. Renowned for its music, the country gave birth to genres like samba and bossa nova. The annual carnival, a spectacular celebration featuring elaborate parades, music, and dance, attracts millions of revelers from around the world. This cultural exuberance is also evident in the diverse culinary traditions, reflecting the influences of indigenous, African, and European cuisines. In 2005, Brazil was making strides in asserting its global influence as a member of the BRICS group, alongside Russia, India, China, and South Africa. This coalition aimed to reshape the geopolitical landscape and challenge the dominance of traditional global powers. Environmental concerns loomed large in Brazil during this period. The Amazon rainforest, often referred to as the lungs of the earth, faced threats from deforestation, driven by logging, agriculture, and cattle ranching. The government and environmental activists grappled with finding a balance between economic development and conservation, recognizing the global significance of the Amazon's biodiversity. On the international stage, Brazil played a crucial role in diplomatic efforts, participating in peacekeeping missions and contributing to discussions on climate change and sustainable development. In summary, Brazil in 2005 was a nation of contrasts, grappling with economic challenges and social inequality while celebrating its rich cultural heritage. The country's dynamic landscapes, diverse population, and influential position on the global stage underscored its significance in the South American and world context. Brazil's history is marked by the interaction of indigenous populations, European colonization, and the forced migration of millions of African slaves. Portuguese explorer Pedro Álvares Cabral officially claimed the territory for Portugal in 1500. The Portuguese colonial era introduced elements of European culture and religion while exploiting indigenous and African labor. Slavery played a central role in Brazil's development, with millions of Africans brought to the country to work on plantations, mines, and in households. The legacy of slavery is still felt in the racial and socio-economic disparities within Brazilian society. Brazil gained independence from Portugal in 1822, establishing the Empire of Brazil with Dom Pedro I as its first emperor. The empire was replaced by a republic in 1889 after the abolition of slavery in 1888. The early 20th century saw periods of political instability, including the Vargas era and military dictatorships. In 1985, Brazil transitioned to democracy, and since then, the country has experienced significant economic growth and social changes. The 21st century saw Brazil asserting itself on the global stage, participating in forums like BRICS and hosting major events like the FIFA World Cup in 2014 and the Summer Olympics in 2016. Brazil's geographical expanse is awe-inspiring, spanning diverse landscapes from the dense Amazon rainforest to the expansive Pantanal wetlands and the picturesque beaches of Copacabana and Ipanema. The Amazon rainforest, often referred to as the lungs of the earth, is a biodiversity hotspot, home to an incredible array of plant and animal species. The Pantanal, the world's largest tropical wetland area, is known for its wildlife, including jaguars, capybaras, and caimans. The country's extensive coastline along the Atlantic Ocean offers stunning beaches, with cities like Rio de Janeiro and Salvador known for their vibrant beach culture. In contrast, the interior boasts the vast Cerrado savanna and the impressive Iguacu Falls on the border with Argentina. Brazil's population, exceeding 210 million in recent years, is a melting pot of ethnicities and cultures. The majority of Brazilians are of mixed-race descent, reflecting centuries of intermingling between indigenous peoples, European colonizers, and African slaves. This diversity is celebrated in Brazil's vibrant cultural tapestry, evident in its music, dance, festivals, and religious practices. Brazilian music is globally renowned, with genres like samba, bossa nova, and forró capturing the nation's rhythmic spirit. The annual Carnival, a massive celebration featuring elaborate parades, colorful costumes, and infectious music, is a testament to Brazil's passion for revelry. Religion in Brazil is diverse, influenced by Catholicism brought by the Portuguese, indigenous spiritual practices, and Afro-Brazilian religions like Candomblé and Umbanda. This syncretism is reflected in the religious landscape, where festivals and rituals blend various traditions. In 2005, Brazil was experiencing significant economic growth, fueled by its agricultural and industrial sectors. As one of the world's leading agricultural exporters, Brazil dominates markets for products like soybeans, coffee, and beef. The country is also rich in natural resources, particularly iron ore, contributing to its prominence in the global mining industry. However, economic growth coexisted with high levels of income inequality. A considerable portion of the population faced poverty and lacked access to education and healthcare. Social programs aimed at addressing these disparities were implemented, with a focus on poverty reduction and social inclusion. Brazil's economic dynamics are also influenced by challenges such as corruption and bureaucratic inefficiencies. These issues have been the focus of public debate and policy reforms as the country strives to create a more transparent and accountable governance system. Social inequality has been a persistent challenge in Brazil, with stark divides in income, education, and healthcare. The historical legacy of slavery, land distribution patterns, and uneven economic development contribute to these disparities. Favelas, informal settlements often characterized by poverty and inadequate infrastructure, are a visible manifestation of urban inequality. Cities like Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo have sprawling favelas where residents face challenges related to housing, sanitation, and access to basic services. Efforts to address social inequality include affirmative action policies in education and employment, as well as social welfare programs targeting vulnerable populations. These initiatives aim to bridge the gap between the rich and poor, fostering a more inclusive society. Brazil's environmental challenges are epitomized by the Amazon rainforest, a critical global ecosystem. Deforestation, driven by logging, agriculture, and cattle ranching, poses a significant threat to the Amazon's biodiversity and contributes to climate change. In 2005, there were ongoing debates about finding a balance between economic development and environmental conservation. The Brazilian government, environmental organizations, and indigenous communities were actively engaged in discussions on sustainable practices and the preservation of the Amazon. International attention focused on Brazil's role in mitigating climate change, given the Amazon's crucial role in carbon sequestration. Balancing economic interests with environmental conservation remained a complex and ongoing challenge. Brazil has emerged as a key player on the global stage, not only for its economic prowess but also for its diplomatic initiatives. As a member of the BRICS group, alongside Russia, India, China, and South Africa, Brazil seeks to reshape global geopolitics and challenge the dominance of traditional powers. Diplomatically, Brazil has been involved in peacekeeping missions, conflict resolution, and discussions on international issues. The country's diplomatic stance often aligns with a commitment to multilateralism and global cooperation. In recent years, Brazil has faced significant political shifts and challenges. The country experienced economic downturns, political scandals, and changes in leadership. The government has grappled with issues such as corruption, economic reforms, and managing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Efforts to address long-standing issues, including social inequality and environmental concerns, continue to be at the forefront of public discourse. The resilience and creativity of the Brazilian people are evident in their ability to confront challenges and strive for positive change. In the tapestry of nations, Brazil stands out for its sheer size, cultural vibrancy, and natural beauty. Its journey through history, from colonization to democracy, reflects a complex interplay of influences. The challenges of social inequality, environmental sustainability, and economic disparities are counterbalanced by the nation's rich cultural heritage, economic potential, and diplomatic influence. Brazil's trajectory is shaped by its ability to navigate these complexities, finding innovative solutions that balance development with conservation, inclusivity with diversity. As the country moves forward, its global impact will continue to be significant, making Brazil a compelling and dynamic player on the world stage.